Hello everyone, Nick the DM here with another Upgrading the Monsters. Claugiyliamatar, also known as Old Gnawbones, is an ancient green dragon in the Forgotten Realms settings of Dungeons & Dragons, and mother to Vorgan the Green Dragon, and Bone Splitter, the half-dragon Etin. And her 5th edition stats are underwhelming compared to her 3rd edition stats, so let's take a look at how we can make them better. This video will not be a complete summary of Old Gnawbones' lore and life. Today we're just looking at her 5th edition stats and seeing how we can reference her earlier stats to make her more intimidating now. Old Gnawbones has 2 stat blocks in 5th edition, one from the module Storm King's Thunder and another from the Adventurers League Corruption and Crypt Garden. First, let's look at the one in Storm King's Thunder. On page 96 of the module, it mentions that Claugiyliamatar has the stats of an ancient green dragon with 2 changes that make her a challenge rating 23 monster instead. The only 2 changes are she has innate spellcasting and the spellcasting of an 8th level druid, which is her innate spellcasting, charisma-based, save DC of 19. Once per day each she can cast invisibility, legend lore, protection from energy, and true seeing, as well as her normal spellcasting as an 8th level druid, which is wisdom-based, DC 18 plus 10 to hit, cantrips, druidcraft, mending, produce flames, 1st level, cure wounds, detect magic, entangle, and speak with animals, only 4 spell slots there, 3 2nd level spell slots, animal messenger, and pass without trace, 3 3rd level spell slots, dispel magic and plant growth, and 2 4th level spell slots for either blight, locate creature, or stone skin. And that's it. It's nice that they gave her some spellcasting like in earlier editions, but the rest of her stats are left alone. Now let's see what they did in Corruption and Crypt Garden. Starting at the top, Old Gnawbones has an armor class of 22, one more than the normal Ancient Green Dragon, 490 hit points or 28 d20 hit dice, compared to an Ancient Green Dragon's 385 hit points, 22 d20 hit dice. Her movement speeds are the same except that her flying speed is 60 compared to an Ancient Green Dragon's 80 feet. This may be because of the encounter in the adventure where she appears, but it isn't mentioned in the bonuses or debuffs of the encounter, so it may just be how they have her in 5th edition. Skills and saves are the same except that her proficiency bonus is a +8, increasing her skills and saves and the DCs for her abilities. While her actual challenge rating isn't mentioned in the adventure, this would put her anywhere from CR 25 to CR 28, which I will come back to later because that's going to be important. The next thing changed about her stat block is her bite attack. While the normal Ancient Green Dragon does 2d10 piercing and 3d6 poison, Claugiyliamatar's bite does a whopping 4d10 piercing damage and 4d6 poison. Her claw attack is the same as a normal Ancient Green Dragon, but her tail attack changed as well. A normal Ancient Green Dragon does 2d8 bludgeoning damage with its tail. Old Gnawbones deals 4d8 bludgeoning damage, and if the target creature fails a strength save, they are pushed 15 feet back and knocked prone. Her Frightful Presence has a reduced radius of 100 feet rather than the normal 120, and her breath weapon is 20d6 rather than 22d6 poison damage. Finally, 2 things changed in her legendary actions. Her tail attack now costs 2 legendary actions rather than 1, which is understandable considering how strong it is now. And her wing attack has changed quite a bit. It costs 3 legendary actions instead of 2 like a normal dragon's, and rather than affecting each creature within 15 feet of the dragon, she can instead make 2 attacks using the same statistics as her claw attack, 10 feet reach, same plus to hit, and the same damage. Then the creatures must make a dexterity saving throw or fall prone like the normal wing attack. And that is it for her stats in Corruption and Crypt Garden. A lot of stuff is pretty cool and pretty interesting. I like that they changed the wing attack. Maybe balancing is a little different on it, having costing more but appearing to do less. But I do like it. Combining both the 5e stats for Claugiyliamatar into one gives us a pretty formidable dragon. However, Old Gnawbones has some more tricks up her sleeves, or, well, scales. So let's take a look at her abilities from earlier editions. In the 3.5e book, Dragons of Faerun, Claugiyliamatar is listed as an Ancient Green Dragon, 4th level Druid, and 4th level Rogue, and neutral evil rather than lawful evil. Obviously, 5th edition has already given her some druid spellcasting, so we can leave that as it is. However, they never covered the rogue portion in 5th edition. Of course, 3rd edition and 5th edition have different rules and abilities function differently, so we'll have to keep that in mind. 3rd edition rogues have very similar abilities to 5th edition, but some of them they get earlier. Claugiyliamatar is a 4th level rogue, for example, has sneak attack, evasion, and uncanny dodge. They each did different things in earlier editions, but still those are the ones she had that are similar in name. However, in 5th edition, those abilities are much stronger, which is why they are for slightly higher level characters. So the simplest thing to do is to give her the abilities of a 4th level rogue in 5th edition. 2d6 sneak attack once per turn, expertise in 2 skills, the ability to speak thieves' cant, and cunning action. Beyond that, I wouldn't give her a subclass. Not to say there aren't fitting subclasses for her, I just believe in keeping it fairly simple. A few interesting things to note from her 3.5e stats. Her armor class is higher than that of a normal dragon her age, so 5th edition's Corruption and Crypt Garden got that right. Her strength, however, is lower than that of a normal ancient green dragon. Perhaps making her strength score a 25 would fit the lore of earlier editions. Her dexterity score is also higher than the average green dragon, maybe giving her a 14 dexterity, thereby making her armor class that higher 23. And her intelligence and wisdom are also higher than average, perhaps increasing them to a 22 and a 22 intelligence and a 19 wisdom. In 3rd edition, she spoke numerous languages as well. Chondathan, which is a native language of Faerun, Common, Draconic, Eluskin, which is also a Faerunian language, Dwarven, and Elven. Also, in Dragons of Faerun, Claugiyliamatar has a challenge rating of 28, and I found that interesting because, as I mentioned before, in 5th edition's Corruption in Crypt Garden, her proficiency bonus is +8, putting her somewhere between 25 and 28 on the challenge rating scale. So that is accurate in 5th edition as well. Lastly, let's take a look at what magic items she possesses and uses. Listed in Dragons of Faerun from 3rd edition, along with her treasure hoard, Old Gnawbones possesses 4 crystal balls. All of them can be used to scry, but each one has an additional ability. 1 for arcane sight, 1 for detect thoughts, and 1 for invisibility, and 1 for telepathy. She has a Hand of the Mage, which is a necklace that allows the wearer to cast Mage Hand. Pretty on-the-nose name there. A Ring of Chameleon Power to help her blend in with her surroundings. A Ring of Draconic Deception, which I like because it allows her to look like a dragon of another type and allows her to change her breath weapon a number of times per day. That I find is a very interesting item. Also, she has a Rod of Spheres, allowing her to transport items. So, in summary, our upgraded Claugiyliamatar has the stats of an ancient green dragon with the following changes. She is neutral evil rather than lawful evil. She has an armor class of 22, one more than the normal ancient green dragon. Has 28 d20 hit dice, giving her 490 hit points. Her movement speed is normal, or you can give her a reduced fly speed of 60 feet. I choose normal because in 3rd edition she has the same fly speed as a normal ancient green dragon, so I kept that similar. Her strength is also reduced to a 25. Her dexterity is increased to 14, which is the effect on her armor class. Her intelligence is increased to 22, and wisdom to 19. For her rogue ability, she gets expertise in 2 skills. I chose to give her expertise in deception and insight, which if I make a lore video, we'll explain more about that. Her languages now include Chondathan, Dwarvish, Elvish, Eluskin, and Thieves' Cant, and she has a challenge rating of 28. She has her innate and druid spellcasting from Storm King's Thunder. Also, if you give her her 3rd edition item, she can also cast Mage Hand. She has a 2d6 sneak attack once per turn and can use cunning action as a bonus action for any of the abilities listed in the rogue class. She has her bite and tail attack from Corruption and Crypt Garden. Her frightful presence radius and breath weapon damage are reduced to the same levels as that adventure as well. Likewise, her legendary actions are the same as Corruption and Crypt Garden as well. And if you so choose, she can have her special items from 3rd edition and gain benefits from those as well. I personally Would recommend giving her that Draconic Ring because that's very unique for an encounter, having a ancient green dragon suddenly blast Frost Breath or a line of lightning at you. Alright, that's it. Like I said, not a deep dive into lore, but we now have a more formidable old Gnawbones stat block that cruel DMs can throw at their high level players. That's it for this video. If you've enjoyed, please give this video a like and consider subscribing for more Dungeons & Dragons content. If you have any suggestions for future videos, please let me know in the description. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!